Hey friends, how's it going? Ash here with Gents. Some of you guys out there ready to be angered, to be triggered? Maybe I can help you out with that a little bit. Today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking a look at fragrances for summer that most people love that a lot of you guys out there said are complete trash. Yeah, kind of weird. Fragrances that almost everyone loves that are trash. So what I did is I put a post up on my community tab and I asked you guys, what is a fragrance that is mainly loved and heralded and praised by so many people out there that you yourself cannot stand? Then I took the fragrances that got the most upvotes, and those are the ones we're going to be talking about here today. So this is on you. This is on you. Don't get mad at me. I'm just the messenger here, relaying your own message back to yourselves. So let's jump into it. 10 loved summer fragrances that you guys say are trash. Now, a little bit of obviousness before we jump into the fragrances. Just because one person loves something and another person dislikes something doesn't mean that either of those people are right or wrong, because believe it or not, people have different opinions. Yeah, it's a weird concept. Some people seem to feel like their opinion is the only one that matters and everybody else's is bunk, but that's not how the real world works. So keep that in mind. Just because somebody dislikes something that you like doesn't mean that you should attack them or say that they're wrong, and vice versa is also true. All right, let's go. First fragrance, and I will say that this fragrance got more votes than any other fragrance. So if you were gonna have a winner of this list, which I guess would be a loser of this list, it would be this fragrance. Matt says, light blue, Eau Intense. Smells okay, but receives way too much hype for how generic it smells to me. And the light blue line got the most votes of any line of fragrances out there. It wasn't close. Eau Intense got the most votes of the line, but if I wanted to take each light blue that received a lot of votes and put it into this list, then like half this list would just be light blue fragrances and flankers. The original light blue, I think, had the second most votes. So it was Eau Intense and then the original light blue and then light blue Forever below that and then light blue Italian Love below that. So yeah, a lot of people were trashing on light blue here. I actually showed my wife the list of fragrances before I started filming here today, and she was like, I like light blue. I don't know what they're talking about. And I think that's one of the deals with the light blue fragrances. Some of them I like more than others. I think Eau Intense is a really nice fragrance. And what's funny about this as well is I asked you guys not all that long ago about your choices for like your favorite performing summer fragrances, something like that. And then light blue Eau Intense was one of the highest vote getters. So there's obviously a big disconnect here. Some people are in love with light blue and then other people love to hate light blue. That got kind of mixed up. I don't remember where I was going here. Oh yeah, so I like light blue Eau Intense. I think it's a good fragrance. It's really versatile, easy to wear, good performance for a summertime scent. I like it. Light blue Eau Intense. You guys were hating on it not that long ago. You were loving on it, but for sure, this is the loser / winner of this round. Let's keep it moving. Up next, we've got, I don't want to mispronounce your name, Moam, sorry if I butchered that, I probably did. John Varvatos Artisan Pure. I remember how hyped I was about the fragrance after all the positive reviews, and I bought it without sampling at first, but oh boy, I was disappointed at the end. I couldn't wait to get rid of it. It's just not my type of scent. This one definitely did get that hype on YouTube and forums and other places. So you are right about that. And this is another one that I myself do like. I think it smells really nice, very fresh, clean, easy to wear. And when you could get this for a really low price from discounters, I think it was a great buy. / is a great buy if you can still get it for cheap. Then we got Pablo X. What fragrance does he hate? Silver Mountain Water. While not the worst smell, I just never clicked with it as a scent, and for me, the performance is below average. A lot of people do rock Silver Mountain Water during the summertime. For me, I think of it a little more as like a springtime fragrance, maybe as it's transitioning into summer, but in the middle of summer, the metallic vibe that this one gives off with that tea note in here, black currant as well, doesn't work as well for me in the summertime. And a lot of people do get poor performance with this fragrance. I've heard that multiple times. I actually get really good performance with it, which I found out in a very negative way. I've talked about this in the past, but I sprayed it on, wore it to the office, and some of the old ladies there started to choke out because the scent was overwhelming them. And for me personally, Silver Mountain Water is not one of my favorite creeds, so I'm there with you. I don't hate it, Don't hate it at all, but not one of my favorites. Next up, we have a Deal Zero Nautica Voyage for me. I don't know, it just smells like a chemical mess to my nose. Not pleasant at all. Poor Nautica Voyage, very sad. Heralded for a long time as one of the cheapies to get, one of the first cheapies that you should add to your collection. For sure, with this being a Nautica fragrance and with it being a very inexpensive Nautica fragrance, it is going to have a more synthetic, chemically feel to it that some people are just not going to gravitate toward. For the price point I picked mine up for though, I do like it. I think what it does pretty well. Now charge me $40, $50 for it, and I'll tell you with the quickness, never to pick it up ever, but $18, which I think is what I paid for mine. Yeah, it's not bad. Ben Spear is up next. Versace Man Eau Fraiche smells like a Disney store in the mall. And this one got voted on a few times. A few different people put this up there, but I really like that comment, so going with that one. When I think of a mall store and a fragrance smelling like a store in the mall, or a store in the mall smelling like a fragrance, I guess, I think of Fierce. But like a lot of you out there, I'm sure that's just because it's hardwired into my brain. Thanks a lot, Abercrombie & Fitch. Never had a Disney store in my local mall, so I can't really contrast and compare the smell to Versace Man Eau Fraiche, but it's a funny thing to think about. This one has a bit of a similarity to Dolce & Gabbana's Light Blue for women. So in a really roundabout way, it's almost like Dolce & Gabbana's Light Blue is just getting smashed all over the place here. Both men's and women's, but just because this kind of smells like the women's. I find it a very easy to wear summer fragrance, quite sweet and fruity with a star fruit note in there along with citrus and some fresh spiciness in here as well. Versace Man Eau Fraiche doesn't get hyped like it used to, but definitely you could say that this was at one point in time a bit of a hype beast. Next up, we got KMW. Fragrance that he put out there is Legend Spirit. There are more than 20 fragrances, probably many more, I'd consider before wearing Legend Spirit. A lot of people enjoy this one for it being an inexpensive, sweet, youthful fragrance that has similarities to Invictus Aqua, only, as I said, for less money because it's cheap. So this one has bergamot, lavender, cashmere, kind of an aquatic marine feel to it, and musk as well. It's a sweet, fresh aquatic fragrance that's pretty good at pulling compliments. And because of that low price tag and it coming from a house like Montblanc that a lot of people know, that's really helped keep the popularity going with that one. Not the biggest fan personally of the Invictus style fragrances, Invictus DNA, you could say, but in the grand scheme of things and across all the different Invictuses out there, the Invictus baby fragrances, that one, I think for the price point, probably one of the better ones out there. Next up, we've got one from Heat and the fragrance that they chose. Chanel Allure Sport. It just doesn't do it for me. Okay smell, but would never pay the price for it. Versace Pour Homme works better. So as they mentioned, this has a similarity to Versace Pour Homme, also has a similarity to Missoni Wave. Of the three, Allure Sport is going to be the most expensive of the bunch. It's also going to be a little bit heavier than Versace Pour Homme. Versace Pour Homme is a fresher take on this style of fragrance, you could say. This one's got a bit of a creamy sweetness to it. It is, though, a massive compliment pulling fragrance, even to this day. So if that's what you're after, Allure Sport's a really good choice. And just to kind of show you guys how the comment section was, and frankly, it's kind of hard to sort because you'd think you could sort it by the most upvoted comments, but that's not how it works. YouTube just kind of throws them in there all mishmashed, even if you sort by best. There were so many comments where somebody would say, this fragrance sucks, I like this one more. And then you go down a few comments and it would be somebody saying, that fragrance sucks, I like this one more. And just as an example, that last one got a lot of upvotes, and so did this one from Christian Brewerton. Versace Pour Homme. To me, it smells like a chemical mess with some bergamot and neroli splashed in there. So on one side, you have, hey, Chanel Allure Sport sucks. Versace Pour Homme is so good. And then you have, hey, Versace Pour Homme, yeah, that sucks. Chemical mess. For sure, Versace Pour Homme does not have as much depth or richness or sweetness as Allure Sport, but I do really like Versace Pour Homme. This was one of my summertime office fragrances for a long time. Great dumb reach, grab it, spray it on as much as you want and go. Nobody's going to think it smells bad except Christian Brewerton. He's not gonna like it. Everyone else walking by, hey man, it smells good. Haha, what are you wearing? Christian Brewerton walks by.
Trash. Peasants.
I'm just messing with you. Then we got one from Maison Segun House. Segun? Sega? Dolce Gabbana K, just no bueno. That's a pretty short and sweet to the point comment. No bueno. I am not a big fan of K. It's probably one of my least favorite of the mainline blue designer fragrances out there. Yeah, I'd say easy bottom 3 as far as that goes. It just never has worked for me. But I have talked to other people, friends in the fragrance community, other YouTubers that will say K Eau de Toilette actually works really well for them and they love it and they get all this positive attention wearing it and everything. For me, it just never did work out. I tried, I wore it a bunch, and I just never really came around to it. Sometimes with fragrances, you'll wear it more, it'll grow on you. I've talked about that a ton on this channel, but K never really did. And then last but not least, Bishop B. I do not like Invictus. I smelled it at a perfumer section of Macy's and went, why do people like this? Now, to be fair here, Bishop, you have a photo of zoologist's bat as your avatar. So I'm gonna go out on a limb here and I'm gonna say that Paco Rabanne Invictus is probably not the type of fragrance that is made for someone with your taste. And I don't mean that whatsoever as an insult. Zoologist bat, the original, is really sick. When I found out it was being discontinued, I bought a full bottle. I had a sample of it, but it was one of those deals where you have it and you realize, am I gonna wear this ever? No, not really, but I do love the way it smells. When I heard it was being discontinued, I bought a bottle. Yeah, I put it off to the very last second. But if you're the type of person that likes zoologist so much that you make your avatar a picture of a zoologist animal, probably Paco Rabanne Invictus is not really something that you would have in your wheelhouse. That said, I don't really like Invictus. So I agree with you. I'm just saying if you're somebody rocking a very niche indie fragrance, then the most mainstream bubblegummy designer fragrance is they don't really link up, you know? That's like somebody saying my favorite films. Oh yes, German expressionist horror films from the silent era. And then somebody else is like, yeah, my favorite films are Mission Impossible and Fast and the Furious. Do you like those? They're probably not gonna be like, yeah, dude, I love Vin Diesel. Of course. Invictus is Fast and the Furious, in case you didn't know that analogy, in case it didn't make sense. All the jokes and stuff aside, Bishop, I agree, Invictus is not for me either. And I wanna thank all you guys for leaving your comments and voting on the fragrances. So there we go, my friends, 10 fragrances that the majority of people love that just don't work for some of you guys out there for one reason or another. And like I said, on my little soapbox, my little virtual soapbox toward the beginning of the video, just because somebody dislikes something you like, or you like something that they dislike or whatever, doesn't mean anybody here is wrong. Wear what makes you happy and wear what you like, and we'll all be okay. Thank you guys. Stay safe out there. I'll see you tomorrow with another fragrance video. Thanks again for voting on everything. Thanks, guys.